Hey, good evening, everybody. Sammy Thunder here. Welcome back to the channel. I just got my new table set up. It's all laid out. It's a nice white table from IKEA. Kind of looks very similar as the foundation is the same as the previous table, but I have a little bit more space, a little bit more to work with. So, Essentially, this video tonight is a kind of a special thank you to some of the other content creators that I met over the course of the 3 days I was at the National. And you can kind of see my custom card already here, but I was giving these out and I kept one for myself because you always have to have one for yourself. And so there's a number of people that I met and got some really cool things from them. And so I'm going to do my best to try to name everybody that I spoke to, everybody that I interacted with. If I forget you, I really apologize. It was a lot to keep track of. So I want to kind of send my special thanks to some of these people. And the first one is Iconic Al. And that's a really cool 87 Topps card of him with the gold signature. It's classic. 217 of 300. On the back, it has his information here. And Al is one of the great content creators in our community. He delivers consistent videos on a daily basis, and really nice guy. Actually taller than me, if you can believe that. It's kind of hard to tell when you're sitting in a chair, but Al and I had a nice discussion. Just kind of talked about what we're trying to find, what we're trying to accomplish for the national, and Al was giving out his card and signing them. So just want to say thank you, Al, again. It was a great conversation we had, and I hope you did find what you were looking for at the National. The next card that I got was from Geary, who I had a nice conversation with. And Geary's channel is the vintage. If it gets in focus, maybe not. It's working on it. Anyway, the vintage baseball card packs. So he breaks wax, but he loves the vintage stuff. I think he does mostly 80s, but he does do some 70s on occasion. I think he also tries to find collections and so forth, and tries to buy baseball singles for himself as well. So it's not just wax packs, but other things as well. So I know he's trying to create like some sort of social media platform right now where content creators are able to kind of interact directly instead of going through like YouTube, which kind of doesn't create the greatest interface between YouTubers other than leaving comments and such. I know you can tag people, but it seems like Geary's trying to kind of bring the community even closer than it is, which is fine. There's a lot of opportunity there, so wish him best of luck on that app. The next thing is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. I just had a great conversation with him on my channel. If you haven't checked it out, I'll leave a link right now so you can click on it. Great interview. He's one of my favorite content creators because he has so much insight and so much knowledge. And he is the perfect person to have with you if you're looking for a card and you want to get a second opinion. He is a great companion for that. And also just one of the nicest people in the community. I think everybody would agree with that. So Orlando is the collector's dream. On the back it has his information. So I'd highly recommend, if you're not subscribed to him, do so. Next card. Yep, I met Stan the Man. No, this is a cool little card that Stukes came up with. Stuke 2023, another guy who has a wealth of knowledge, who is a huge supporter of the community, also creates content for himself, and looks like he's holding there I'm guessing it's his 52 Mickey Mantle. Stuke and I had a very nice conversation, just talking about vintage and our great passion and enthusiasm for it. And so we exchanged the cards. I got one of his, obviously, here, and I gave him one of mine. So thank you, Stuke, so much for the pleasant conversation, and I hope to see you next year as well. Now, I didn't meet Nolan Ryan or Tom Seaver, but this was a nice, generous offering from Jason Janega. I hope I'm saying it right. Jason, I don't think he's a content creator, but I know interacts with the community. He's a big supporter of everybody's channel and came out for the get-togethers. So it was really cool. He was passing these out, and I didn't know I was getting this until I opened it up when I got home. It was in an envelope, and it's a nice little offering. It's kind of a nice showing that he picked out two players that I personally collect. So this is really cool. And I just want to say, Jason, you're really awesome to talk with. Learn more about your collection. Learn more about what you were there for the national for, as far as like what sort of items you're trying to find. And I'm glad that you are an active member in our community. So I hope to see you again at future shows, definitely at the National in Cleveland. Now this one is a very special one. Now Ted Williams had a Fleer set that came with 80 cards. I've seen those cards around. I just never really knew the entire set very well. But if you ever put those in a binder, you'll always have one empty 9-pocket sleeve, just waiting for another card to go in there. And so Scott Reindeer Studios came up with an amazing design of Ted Williams on what looks to be a surfboard with a paddle, and looks like the background is very Hawaiian, which this was given as a gift from Scott to Dylan, Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. And Dylan is from Hawaii, so this was very personalized for him, and Dylan was giving these out. So Scott, awesome job for creating this work of art and finally giving an empty pocket, an item, a card to go in there. And William is stoked to give surfing a shot. And Dylan, thank you very much for being so kind to offer me one. This is really cool in the back. There's a nice little kind of a bio with here. It says, in the off-season, Ted was on a fishing trip in the Pacific. When he ran out of bait, he decided to head over to Hawaii and give surfing a try. Let me tell you, it was a lot of fun. Those surfers are quite impressive athletes. Being able to ride waves as big as the Green Monster, that's awesome. His experience gave him a new meaning to being on deck. It's very nice. So this is really cool. I really like the look of it, and Scott signed it as well. So thank you both. So John, Wade Boggs fan, we all are familiar with this channel, and his card is personalized with the Wade Boggs fan YouTube channel in the back. Got 30 out of 100, and this is really cool. John and I had a nice conversation about how he obtained the library index card slots or holders. And it's a really interesting story. He was able to kind of break it down, and really, he was very passionate about it. And I suggested that he should make a video talking about it, because I think it's kind of cool to know the foundation of your setup and how you came to acquire such things. But John couldn't be nicer, and just really, really generous, really open, and really passionate about collecting. He also made some big scores, but I don't want to spoil it. I know he showcased it on his channel, so you should check out some of the cards he picked up. But kind of what I'm hoping for is maybe when Wade Boggs does another signing, maybe in New York at some point, I can bring this, and I'm sure he'll get a kick out of it, and get him to sign it. So, John, thank you so much, man. This is really, really cool, and I'll keep it in here, the collection. I regret not getting him to sign it. Dylan is a firecracker, let me tell you. Guy has a big force of energy, but I love it. And then Splendid Sports Cards, Adam, they've teamed up and they're doing a channel, or doing a Turn Back the Clock. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a channel. I think, or is it? I'm not 100% sure. I thought it was just on Dylan's channel, but anyway, this is a really cool card of them together. I definitely will get them to sign it at some point. But yeah, really cool. Adam and I remember it's just a funny moment. We were standing at the end of the bar trying to order a drink on the Thursday get together, And we're standing there for a while, not realizing that there's actually a roped off line for buying drinks. And it took us to realize that when paparazzi came over, and he was like, we all realized together, right, after just having a nice chat, like, yeah, I think we need to go over there. So that was that was really funny, and we eventually did get our drinks, so that was cool. But thank you guys so much for giving me a really cool card, and I do hope to come on your show, Turn Back the Clock. It sounds like a lot of fun. The last two offerings were from Scott. Now, Scott is a very talented artist and always does a lot of baseball inspired work. And some of these prints that he gave us here on the card was, obviously Hank Aaron. On the back, it shows 44. And I think this is, it showed that the original work was painted in 2023, acrylic on wood. And you can kind of scan some of this information here to watch the video. I love Hank Aaron, but I really, really like this one a lot because Christy Mathewson is a hometown legend. Being a New York Giant at the Polo Grounds, I drive past that area all the time when I go to work, and so I think about such players like Bugs Raymond, Christy Mathewson, Willie Mays, the list goes on, Monty Irvin, Bobby Thompson. So I think about some of those players, and this is really cool. I have the original Christy Mathewson T206 with the white cap in the back, and so but the black cap is really cool too. And I thought getting like a closer up look at Mathewson here, the artwork of Scott, is just very special. And so Big Six, because he was inducted as part of the Big Six crew, and so really, really cool artwork from Scott, and I'm really pleased to have it. So I have a good amount of his work now on cards, so very special. Thank you very much, Scott, and thank you for the great conversation we had. Some additional people that I interacted with include Liam, Junior Baseball Fanatic. What a great channel, great family too. Just the mom and dad were fully on board and supportive of his love for collecting, his passion for collecting, and also just for playing sports as well. They also couldn't be any nicer, and had a nice conversation with them. Also, Adam, Vintage Sanctuary, thank you so much. I love your enthusiasm. When I got my Willie Mays 52, I know we talked about you getting yours last year, and you were so excited about it, and so I'm so glad you're able to share that excitement with me this time around. And it's just really, really cool to talk with you and hang out with you. Mangini, you are the life of the party, my friend. You just are a great host and great just person to kind of hang out with and joke around with. Paparazzi, of course, man, you're super awesome. Very, very just down to earth and just full of fun. Mike Moynihan, baseball collector. I mean, what more can you say? It's just the guy has been kind of spearheading a lot of the YouTube get-togethers and just being a really great positive energy around with everybody and really kind of just welcoming everybody. And so that's really cool that you always do this on a year in and year out basis. So thank you for that. Chris from Missouri, it was great to run into you multiple times at the National. It was kind of cool to run into you at the time when you were looking at Stan's Vintage, the display case, and kind of pondering of picking up some additional cards for your collection. I don't think you picked out the one, I think it was the Shoeless Joe Jackson. You could tell me if you did, but based on the video that I saw, I didn't see that. But aside from that, you got some great cards, no denying that. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of people. Junk Wax Hero Mike, it was awesome always to talk with you. We go way back with our channels, and it's always a pleasure to kind of see what you're up to, and I'm sure we'll run into each other probably maybe at the Boston show, because I might try to do that next time around. Steve from Vintage on Vintage, just really great conversation. You're super cool, man. Super awesome to hang out with, and I'm so glad to have you as a supporter of the channel, as I also support yours too. You always make some really cool pickups, a lot of reveals. So it's really cool seeing you, Dave, and Matt. You guys were some of the first that I saw when I first arrived. It was first time meeting you guys. Just really passionate about the hobby, great collectors. I know yeah, we're there with family, so it was really cool to kind of see your family really take it all in, enjoy it, and soak up the experience. Um, so thank you guys for kind of making me feel welcome as part of the group. That was really awesome of you guys. Theo, Clemente Collector, you're also a big, big force of energy, man. I love it. Big positive attitude, always a smile on your face, man. So it was really cool to hang out with you, especially since we did the interview on your channel. So we definitely got a chance to get to know each other more and learn about each other's collections, and it was really cool. And finally, I just want to mention Staven Sports Cards, Dom. It was cool to room with you, man. You're a super cool guy. Loved hanging out with you, man, and loved kind of seeing what sort of things you're collecting. I think it was on like Friday. No, was it Friday? Yeah, I think I was just literally on autopilot, and we've both been walking in that like in the hot space that is the convention hall. And I knew I was just on autopilot. I really was like, I can't look at anything else, but I will follow you, and you can go ahead and look at whatever you want. And he took us to some tables that had some really cool memorabilia that was outside the norm. And it was kind of cool to see some of the items from like the pre-war days, like pins and books and magazine covers. But the really cool thing that you bought that I didn't get a chance to be with you at the table when you bought it, but it was the St. Louis Cardinals scorecard with the Juan Marichal Dominican Dandy autograph. That was super, super awesome. So I'm sure I'm missing people. I really apologize if I didn't mention your name. It's please don't take it personally. It's just a lot of people to keep track of. So, but I do want to say thank you so much. If we did talk and we did have a nice conversation, thank you so much. You made me feel very, very welcome, and I really can't wait till next year to do it again. So for now, I will be away for the weekend. Going to be getting away. I don't know if I'll find myself at a shop or anything, but we'll see. But I'll return back next week with some more footage for you guys. And so thank you again so much. Have a great night. Take care.